Hello everybody, and welcome to another Dawn Dimension car review. Today I'm going to be reviewing this 2013 Ford Mustang GT California Special. And this one has about 19,000 miles on it. Start off, I want to say this thing really feels like I'm driving a tank. It's not too big, but it definitely feels masculine nature, but it's bigger than the other coupes I've driven that I've reviewed, and I think this is the most powerful car I've test driven so far. So to start off, just a few things that I notice. It's much louder than other cars. So in this car you've got the big 5-liter V8 making a lot of noise and a lot of power. So I mean, definitely engine noise, that's something you're going to have to learn to deal with when you're getting up to speed at higher RPMs. That's pretty loud. And yeah, so I'm sitting down here. I'm actually pretty comfortable. The seats, they actually have relatively aggressive bolstering, a little more aggressive than daily driver commuter cars, but not quite as aggressive as my Civic Si seats. But definitely the bolstering is holding you in. And I'd say they're a little more comfortable than average. And the quality of the materials is pretty good. You got nice soft black leather with some other fabric material there on the middle of the seat. And you got some nice contrast leather stitching as well. Get a little power here. Definitely entertaining. Huh. And besides the seats, you got a really nice steering wheel. Like, this is probably one of the best steering wheels appearance-wise that I've even seen. You got the 9-3 grips, which are pretty nice. You can rest your thumbs on this plastic here, but it's really quality materials. Leather wrapped, nice white stitching. The buttons are here for the radio and the cruise. And just this silver plastic looks really nice. Like, it really blends well with the colors of the car. You know, the same goes with the rest of the interior here. So you got this chrome-like trim on the dashboard. And you know, it's 2 circular cylinders, so it's really reminiscent of the 60s Mustangs. I believe the California Special is kind of like a tribute to the 69 Mustang. And yeah, it's definitely old-fashioned looking gauges here, which is really cool. And then in the middle screen, you have a lot of useful information, such as the fuel economy, or what miles per gallon you're getting right now. And then you can change what the infotainment says, not infotainment, sorry, you can change what the screen says. But yeah, the steering wheel, just really nice overall. 10 and 3 notches are barely noticeable. The 9 and 3 is really good anyways, so it doesn't matter. Car is a blast. But yeah, the rest of the interior is great. So with the California Special, you got this, well, obviously it's really nice, pretty quality plastics, black plastic around the whole interior, but then you also got some really nice plastic. I'm not even sure what this is, what you'd call this, but it looks really nice. And then you got the chrome around the air vents, just all around. And then the door panels, you got the Mustang, you got the horse on there, and nice leather stitching, just different materials, big speakers. And then the shift knob itself, we'll move on to that next, looks really nice. It's got the quality plastic, nice chrome color, leather is good quality, more chrome trims. And the radio, well, it's pretty normal looking radio. It's not super fancy. It's got just a normal functional screen. It's not the infotainment or anything. But the knobs have really good resistance to them. And the buttons, same thing. And there's actually, there's 10 presets, which is pretty cool. And a CD changer. So it's not lacking in technology, but it's obviously not up to standards with some of the other options you could have gotten in other cars. But it's got sync, so you could sync your phone with Bluetooth to the radio. And other features you got the 12-volt power source. You got heated seats. 2 medium-sized cup holders. We'll do another pull here because it's so much fun. Oh man. Torque. But yeah, in this car we're dealing with 420 horsepower, which is pretty impressive by itself, and 390 foot-pounds of torque. So that's a healthy amount of torque, more than any car that I've ever driven. In this 5-liter V8 engine, 32 valves. It really packs a punch. Throws you back in your seat. It's all that joy that you want from an American muscle car. And this is really the epitome of American muscle right here. So now I'm gonna take it on a couple back roads and just see how the handling is. Because we know in a straight line, this is among the best. Especially for your money. I mean, these brand new, they're usually in the 30 to 40,000 range. But you wait a few years and get a used one with this still great performance, and you can get it in the 20s. I mean, the guy who purchased this, he bought this, I believe he said it was around 28, so high 20s. But you're getting a lot of car for your money. That's kind of why Mustangs are really popular. It's because you get a ton of performance for your money. But yeah, granted, it is about 3,400 pounds, maybe a little more. So it's heavy, but it's not too heavy. When you drive it, Like, yeah, it does feel big, but it's in a good way. It's bulky and you just feel powerful driving it. And there's plenty of leg room, so if you're a bigger guy, you could get a Mustang and you'd fit just fine in the front seat. Back seats, that's a different story, but they're not really even usable unless you have like a dog that you don't think is gonna scratch up the leather. But I'm gonna take some corners here. On this cul-de-sac and just kind of see how that body roll is. There's not much body roll. It's not bad, it's pretty planted. Let's take this corner a little fast here. Pretty good. I'm not really on like crazy roads where I could just take it to the limits, but like you don't really feel like it's that hard to control. Yeah, it's not too crazy. But yeah, I'll get to the rest of the interior here, if there's anything else. So storage, you got your glove box, and it's a little smaller than average storage space, but it fits, so that's what's important. And you got your center console. It's not very long, but it's pretty deep, so I'd say that's about average as well. And you got a power outlet in there, and a USB and an audio, so that's pretty suitable. And it looks like he's got some readers in there. Besides that, you got standard window controls, easy to find power unlocks and stuff. Well, yeah, there's not too much going on. It's not a busy car. It's really a driver's car, but there's a lot of features on the California Special that just really add to the package. So you got, like on the mirrors, there's projections of horses. Like it aims it down to the ground. So if you're in a dark spot, you can see the horse light projection. And the mirrors are nice because you got it's like a two-piece mirror setup. So it kind of helps you see your blind spot. Well, you got the nice hood scoops, which are really cool, but they're not too obtrusive. They're streamlined. They're not screaming for attention, but they're definitely there for your enjoyment. And I like how it's the design of the exteriors. It's boxy, but it's not like a Scion XB or whatever that refrigerator-looking thing is. It's sharp edges, but not too sharp. And it's got just the right amount of flare. I like this. It's red. It's aggressive. Like you see it coming down the road, heads are gonna turn. But I think a connoisseur would own a car like this. You have the Mustang for obviously your enjoyment, and then people around you can share. But I don't think you're not like, I don't know, you're not just begging for attention with a Mustang. I don't think that's what you're trying to do. Because you want this car for yourself first and foremost. Because this is why. Because that is super fun. 0 to 60 on these, I'll look up the exact stats. I believe it's like 4.5 seconds or quicker. So, this is This is really fast, really quick, really respectable 0 to 60 time for the money too. In terms of muscle cars, it'd really be hard to beat this on all categories for what you get for your money, the looks, and that's also personal preference. Maybe you like the look of the Camaro better, but yeah, definitely if you're looking for a muscle car, this is a great choice. And then when I was driving in there, the road noise, it's actually not too bad. Like, you hear the engine, but you don't hear like everything else excessively. It's pretty livable. It's a little bit of road noise, but I'm not going to complain about it. It's definitely a sports car, so you're buying it knowing that you're going to have to deal with a little bit of noise. But I gotta say, the climate control in here is pretty impressive. Like, it's a chilly fall day. I turned the heat on and it got warm right away. So they didn't really skimp on the quality of materials or components in this car. And I'm averaging 17.5 miles per gallon. So with the V8, you could imagine worse than that. Like, you could conceivably imagine it being way worse, but this is pretty livable. And I know if you're up in 6th gear, it's a pretty tall gear, I believe, so it gets good gas mileage and on the highway on your commute. But I really like driving this car around. Forgot to add, there are tiny map pockets, but they're not very tall, so if you put a map in there, it'd be like sticking out. So I'm not really sure what function it serves. Maybe you could put like, a couple quarters in there. I don't really know, but that does have them. It has really nice floor mats. Take it a little further. But yeah, more about the driving characteristics. Like, the acceleration is great. If you do just floor in 1st gear, you're gonna spin the tires. It's got plenty of torque, 390 pound-feet. So it will do that. But just driving it around, it's actually really easy to, well, not really easy, but it's pretty easy to shift. It's not like my Civic Si, where it's just like butter, but the shifter is not too disagreeable. It shifts into gear without much trouble. And it's pretty short throws as well. And if you're not even trying to be aggressive, you're just driving around town, it's actually not bad at all. Like, the clutch pedal, it's got about a medium weight, maybe a little heavy. You may feel it again. Yeah, it's like medium heavy clutch weight, so it's not hard to drive, and getting it started from a dead stop isn't even a challenge. Like, they really made this user friendly. Like, you could drive this to work. I don't know about snow, but in terms of just a daily driver, they kind of blended the performance with a lot of livability. And you can have fun like every day on the way to work as well. Yeah, as far as the suspension goes, it's actually pretty forgiving. Like, it's still on the sporty side. It's not like you're in a hovercraft, but it's not quite as bumpy as my 350Z is. So they did a pretty good job of the suspension. I'm quite pleased. So just like that, you can get moving. You don't even have to really work for it. Like, I think if you know how to drive a manual, you could drive this car. and it wouldn't even be much of a challenge. So other things I didn't comment on. Well, the steering weight, for one, I think it's ideal. Like, it's pretty tight, but it's not overly tight. It's not like extreme sports car levels, but it's definitely more sporty than like most cars on the road. The steering isn't bad either. It's actually better than I expected it would be. So I was thinking like, oh, muscle cars, those don't know how to turn, but this definitely is more than adequate handling for whatever you might throw at it on the road. And while I'm in traffic here, I want to comment on the visibility. So out the front, you actually got really good visibility out the front. Yes, you do see the hood, but it's a wide windshield, and well, my seating position's pretty good, so no problems there. Out the side, it's a little questionable. Like those back windows, you know, they're covered up by those vents or whatever, so you can't really see your blind spot. But that is helped out by the mirror. The two-piece mirror gives you good visibility there. And out the back, it's a little below average because you got that big spoiler, so that's kind of jutting up into your field of view. But you can get by with it because the mirrors, that's kind of your main assist, is those mirrors. So I don't think you're gonna be, just as long as you're not blindly merging on the highway, you're gonna be just fine. Okay, so to recap, the 2013 Mustang GT California Special is a ideal muscle car. You can get one of these for under 30 grand now. You get 420 horsepower, 390 foot-pounds of torque, so plenty of performance. The handling is even better than adequate. I'd say I would go as far to say it has good handling. And beyond that, the only downfalls are, well, it's pretty loud, and it gets about 15 city, 26 highway, so it's not very fuel efficient. But it could be worse. So if you have like a short commute and you're in a climate where it's not snowing, this could just be your daily driver. The downfalls also include the back seat doesn't really do much, and the trunk space is actually about average, so you're not really lacking in trunk space. The climate controls are good, the radio is pretty good. It's really sharp looking, there's no complaints. The quality of building materials inside and out are actually really good. The comfort is about average. Actually, now that I've been sitting in this seat for a while, I'd say comfort's a little bit above average. And yeah, so if you want just a really fun muscle car, then you couldn't go wrong buying this. So with that, I hope you learned something today and enjoyed this review, and maybe you'll buy yourself a Mustang GT California Special. Have a good one.